Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. I'm way back here in the emergency storage shed. How far we've come? We're around about halfway to where I'm standing. We've tunnelled a bit further into that side. We still need to do some stuff up there. So we're not sort of moving at an even front, and we're not cherry picking either. I'm just working on an area because I want to clean up some of this wall so I can get, well, maybe eventually get my lathe in here that's still under blankets in the carport. The last few episodes we've been doing vintage jewellery, and that little box that was up here we got almost $1,200 worth of value out of. Quite surprising. A few of you were having guesses after the first episode, and I think it was JJ's Library and Freedom Fighter both said about $1,200. So contact me through my email. I'll send you out a sticker. Freedom Fighter Max, I think, is reasonably local. He has popped into the shop once before. So if you like a sticker, you guys, you're welcome to one as just a bit of a reward for an accurate guess. Most of us, including myself, were way off. Okay, we're going to leave jewellery now, and a few of you will probably enjoy that. It got a bit tedious after a while. We're going to get some big stuff out of this shed. So I think I'll start with this CRT TV. We'll probably take it into the bench and power it up and see what happens. Then, depending how quick that goes, we might get the console radio cabinet. It's just an empty cabinet. And there's another complete radio down here. We'll get them out and assess them and work out what we're going to do with them. But those three items will create a fair bit of space. And I'm keen to get further into the shed. Although we probably will tackle this shelf in the middle as well. And I think this wall I might leave till a bit later because I just want to make a bit of space in here to bring some stuff in from the carport, because it's still a bit of a squeeze to get our little car into a huge carport. Blame the farm. There's still farm stuff everywhere in here. Okay, this episode, let's see how heavy this TV is. There's a couple of old remotes here that belong to something else. We'll deal with them another day. And we have just a woolen blanket that I've used as packing over the years. We did save some of these woolen blankets for Coco, but it turns out boxes have a lot of skin conditions and she seems to be allergic to wool. So rather than have her scratch and itch all the time, I'll put this back in the van for packing. When we get too many blankets from a house clean out, we often take them to the shop and just either give them away or have them really cheap as dog blankets. And as long as your dog's not allergic to wool, that's all right. Okay, this is a model A4301. Can't see a brand on it. I guess it'll tell us on the front. And it feels like it's pretty heavy. All right. Hopefully I don't hurt my shoulder or my back. And we'll get it into the bench. Okay. Uh-oh, the anchor's attached. Okay, into the bench. I really need a larger walkway, larger shed, less junk, all of the above. Oh, maybe a lighter TV. Okay, this is a colour TV. It looks probably 1980s. It is a HMV, His Master's Voice, VHF, UHF, maybe it's late 70s, His Master's Voice. Not a huge one, but certainly a fair bit of weight for its size. I don't know if it works. We're not going to pick up anything on it anyway, unless we run a set-top box or something, but I guess as long as we get the screen come to life, we get some sound, we can sell it as a goer. I could possibly hook up a VHS player and run a signal to it. But then again, we might just have smoke. So let's power it on through my appliance tester and see what happens. Okay, we are ready to fire this old girl up. I did have a quick look on Google for this model number and I couldn't date it exactly. I found some very similar ones that were dated between 1978 and 1981. So I think it's around that era. Now I'm going to power it up through my appliance tester. Not that it really makes any difference. It still gives it a full 240 volts straight up. I have read that maybe you should bring these up to voltage slowly through through a variac so that you can gradually let the capacitors come up to voltage without sort of blowing their guts out. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, so any of you guys that might know that, let me know. It's a little awkward to get power from my variac at the moment. I'm in a different room here, so I'm just going to power it up and let's see if we get sparks or smoke or some TV action. Now, I've had it for a long time. I don't remember where it came from, and it may or may not have even been working when I got it. We should have power. Let's go. I heard a little noise that you get when it energizes the tube. Oh, look at that. We have some action. It's flickering a lot on the camera. It's actually flickering a bit in real life. Seems very bright. Do we have any controls to turn? Let's turn the brightness down. Contrast, bright, bright. That's a bit better. So it works. I don't know if we have sound. Oh, we do. Fantastic. Contrast. So the controls do seem to do things. I wonder if I can find a VHS and see if we can actually get a picture on it. It's flickering a bit here. I know it's probably driving you crazy on the camera, so I might just turn it off. Maybe we could try and get a picture through a VHS. I'll see what I can rig up. So I found a VHS player, or VCR, to try and put a signal into this TV just by the RF, or the antenna cable. And I'm having a bit of trouble. Now, the first trouble I had was that I tried these VCR players and I couldn't get any of them to work, and I couldn't get a signal through, so these are all on my shelf now to be repaired. So this is one that I know works. It's a dual DVD and VHS player. So I brought this home from the shop. I've plugged it in via the RF, or the antenna cable, which is just your basic RF signal. And let's turn this on. I'll show you what happened. I expected to turn this on, and given that the TV looked like it was going to have a picture, I turned this on and I went to channel 3, because normally channel 3 or channel 4, at least it used to, get the signal from the video player. Now this is a much more modern video player or VHS than I was used to. Back in the day, you'd just basically plug it in, flick it to 3 or 4 and it worked. I couldn't get anything. I tried the fine tuning, couldn't get anything. I hopped online and read a couple of forums. Apparently some of the more recent ones were tuned to UHF, because the old channels are VHF. This TV does have UHF. So I went back here and I went through the dial, starting to lose hope, and around about 30 something I got a signal. So the thing actually works. However, it's not a very good signal. And when I played the video, I think there's a video in here. Now we have to switch over to VCR and play. So we have Vicar of Dibley, and you can see the picture. It's not flickering on the TV as what you're seeing on the camera, but the picture isn't, it's terrible quality, and I can't tune it in any better. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I think the TV can be called working, but I don't know why we're getting such poor quality. So if any of you guys are familiar with these old CRT TVs, we don't have anything much here to fix it with. The vertical hold does make the picture scroll. And I did take the back cover off to have a look to see what controls we've got, because there's no knobs directly on the back. And when I removed the back cover, I was astounded at the amount of dust in here. I don't know if the torch is helping or not. It's absolutely filthy dirty. There's a thick layer of dust over everything, so I guess I should be grateful the thing's working at all. I did get a paintbrush and just clean across the back of the board, because I could not even read what these adjustments did. So there's a couple of little potentiometers or variable resistors. That one I think says noise. That one's something B1 adjust, I think. And there's some over this side's vertical height and V-lin. I don't think that's a Chinese fella. I think it's linear. I don't know what it stands for. Anyway, I just tweaked a couple of those with a little plastic alignment tool. I didn't want to stick any metal screwdrivers in there. I'm not really that familiar with these, and I know there's very high voltage here. Couldn't get the picture any better. So I don't know, is the problem just that it's so filthy dirty? Or is there some sort of issue with some components? Obviously an older unit like this may have capacitors that are going. I'm not going to try and fix it up, but I was hoping to get a slightly better picture than what we did get. So with the back on, we can see how poor the picture is, and if I try and tune it anymore, we lose colour, and then we lose the picture totally. The sound, there's black and white. That's probably the best picture I've had, actually. But the sound's fuzzy there. And if we go a bit further, the sound gets better, but the picture gets worse. So I don't, it's not the heads on the video player. I know that works fine. In fact, if we stop that, and I have a DVD in here, so I have to switch across to DVD. And then I think we can just play that one. And I get exactly the same picture quality from the DVD. So it's not this unit. It's something to do with the signal going into the TV, possibly all the dust in the TV, maybe some dodgy components. So if anyone knows their way around these old things, I'd appreciate any information. I'm not going to go to any trouble to try and fix it. I'm going to call it basically working. It may perform okay with a set-top box, a digital receiver box. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty happy that it at least goes to this extent. And I probably should stop filming the screen because the flickering is probably driving you guys nuts. But it's not actually flickering for me. Anyway, there we go. His Master's Voice TV, probably circa 1979, 1980, round about that era. I didn't measure the screen, but it looks like it's... I have a tape measure right here. Unfortunately, it's only in metric, but that's what, about 43 centimetre, something like that. What's it worth? Well, I don't really know. I thought I might put it in the shop for maybe $50. I'll give it a wipe over so it looks a bit more presentable, brush the cobwebs off it. But if I get $50 for it and someone gets a TV that might just need a clean out and a tweak, and if they're happy, well, I'm happy, and it gets something out of my shed. And there we go, guys. After a spit and polish, it came up beautifully. Nearly, well, around about a 45-year-old TV, and it appears to work, as you've seen, albeit it needs a good spring clean in the back. All I used to clean it up was some glass cleaner and some Armor All, and it actually came up really good. It's got a few little nicks and bumps and bruises. There's a little bit off the corner there. There's a little bit of the wood grain finish off the bottom. I think it's only some sort of ply or very cheap timber with a contact over it. But it cleaned up pretty well. The screen cleaned up nicely. I just used glass cleaner on that. You do have to be careful on CRT screens because the more modern ones had an anti-glare finish on them. I don't know about TVs, but I know computer monitors did, and if you clean them with the wrong chemical, you've got problems on your hands. But that cleaned up really nicely, looks magnificent. If nothing else, it'd be a really cool prop in a TV show or something. So I'm going to take that at shop for $50, and we'll see how we go. So if I did anything wrong with that TV testing, let me know, guys. It's been a while since I mucked around with video players and CRT TVs, and I thought I was doing it okay. If I missed something, well, let me know. It's a bit ironic that we are potentially going to get $50 back for that TV, and it takes up 3 times as much space as the cardboard box we finished going through in the previous 3 episodes that we got about $1,200 back out of. So if there's a lesson than that, keep jewellery and not TVs. Okay, thanks for watching, and our total for the emergency storage shed now, when I count in the jewellery from those few episodes and $50 for the TV, we're at $19,395. So very close to 20 grand return out of that shed. We're going to do those console radios next week. Won't probably do much except clean them up and work out a price and flip them. Shouldn't take long. Then we'll start delving further into the shed. Thanks for following along. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.